Okay.
He's gonna go burn down.
You're not in trouble. First of all, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble.
Did you just take it out on the nearest chiropractor?
You're not in trouble at all.
So a while back, Bart told us this story about how like he had to do an assignment when he was a kid, and he was supposed to tear these construction papers up to make a picture, and the teacher didn't believe that he tore it and that he actually used scissors, and he got blamed basically for something he didn't do. Has that ever happened to you guys where you got blamed for like something that you completely did not do and you're innocent?
He was like,
Did you tear the paper too perfectly?
Yeah, I did that, and then I did the licking one.
and then he got it out so clean that they're like, you used the scissor, Bart.
Yeah, every single shape I did was
The
ripped.
teacher's an idiot. You can tell for
Right.
sure.
Right. But
Did that ever happen to you where you were...
I feel like Bart does so much though that they're just so tired of it. Like repetitive offender. They're just like, nah, you fucking.
It doesn't have to be like when you were a kid. It could be at any time in your life. But did you basically ever get blamed and it really wasn't you that did it?
Blamed?
Yeah.
Man.
If I was accused, I'm like, that's not me.
and they
there's-
just believe you?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Wow.
I'm like, I can't think of one time where it was like, they didn't believe me.
Oh.
You know, like if they like incorrectly were trying to blame me for something. You have to have.
I'm innocent. No, it's usually I did do it wrong and I'm trying to like get out of it.
Oh, what's that situation?
A lot of situations, dude.
Did you ever get out of it?
Oh yeah.
Well, what's the best one?
Okay, so I used to be innocent, you know, like all kids are.
I used to be innocent.
Okay.
And my mom told me that you should always plead guilty whenever you're caught or whatever. You
Oh.
should tell the truth,
Give up and be like,
right?
yeah.
And then I started going over to my friends' houses, right?
Yeah.
And my friend, I didn't know at the time, but my friends were like, families were like generational gangs. I didn't know what a gang was back then.
Yeah.
And then like, they'll be talking about how you know, if someone pushes you, you fuck them up, and they say that to their sons. So I'm getting a different set of like morals from my friends' parents.
Yeah.
They say stuff like, yeah, and then we'll go out and then they'll all steal from the market or whatever, and then they'll be like, here's some candy. And then I'm like, oh, but it's stolen. And they're like, yeah, but does it change the way it tastes? And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's still delicious.
You're right.
Right? So like, yeah, you're like a, second, third grader, right? Like, so then by that time, like, okay, I was stealing with them. I was doing all these things. And then they also tell you like, oh, whenever you get caught, you just never plead guilty and you hold on to it. You just never plead. Because then it also was true. Like they, you know, they get into run-ins with the law, and then like, I don't know about this stuff, but when I got caught for graffiti, it was the same case. Like my mom was like, oh, just say you're guilty and all that. Even the freaking lawyer afterwards was like, why did you plead guilty? And my mom's, yeah, because you did the deed. And she goes, oh no, but you're not supposed to though. And then so, because my mom's like Christian and all that, and she goes, you're just supposed to be like moral. But then the lawyer was like, you know what happens for the people that are moral is you get the harshest punishment. And he goes, the game is you just have to argue your way out, and then you can get away, but now you can't because you plead guilty. So he goes, it's not about morality, it's about like arguing your case, and you get the least amount of punishment because they don't care about you. It's not about morale. And I was like, oh shit. So this is me and my journey of morality up until like I was 15 years old. But like, there's all these things that I think I stopped listening to my parents because all these other people felt more right. Like, for example, I felt like they backed their kids up. So like, let's say they get into a fight, the parents would be like, did you fuck them up? Okay, good job. Yeah, you don't let nobody push you around. My parents were Christian pacifists. So if I get into a fight, they're like, did you turn the other cheek?
What? They really asked you that?
Yeah. They're like, you should not hit back. They're like, you got to be like Jesus. You got to let them beat you. That's the real strength, right?
Oh my God.
And you know how Asian parents, like when the teachers, when they bring you in for parent-teacher conference, right? The teachers will be like, yeah, your kid hasn't been doing so good, whatever. What happens when you get home? You get your ass beat by your parents, right?
Yeah.
But all my other friends, their parents would fight with the teachers. No, he's a good kid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? And they get into art, and I would watch that and I go, oh shit, like, dude, they got their kids back. Knowing now, that's like the stupidest thing you can do. You enable your kids to be horrible people.
Yeah.
But back then, as a primitive little child, you think, man, those parents are way cooler.
Yeah.
Like, they got their kids back.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, my parents are lame. Like, they don't like fighting. They're so weak. Like, they always get mad at me. They take the teacher's side, you know? And then so my morality got really screwed up, and I would lie all the time. I would steal all the time. I would get whatever I wanted. Yeah. And then I had a group of friends that would be on the same page with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there'll be a lot of things. Like, I stole people's rulers or whatever. And the teacher would be like, did you take that? And I'm like, nope.
50 of them.
Yeah. Like, just for fun. You would just, you would just see something, and then, like, they'll be looking the other way. You take that, you put it in your backpack or whatever. And then they're like, where was that? I don't know. I don't even need 3, 4. Yeah. But that's kind of the evolution of a terrible child, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of trying to navigate what's right and wrong, and then, like, you have so many different people telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Bad influences. Yeah. And then I also thought, whenever I did tell the truth, I got in even more trouble. I would get beat harder. You become professional liars, because, like, if you don't want to get beat up, you just lie, and then your parents believe you. You escape a ass whooping.
Yeah.
Or else it's like, you know, like, if you tell the truth, you're gonna get fucked up. So you're escaping violence, right?
Sometimes you could lie to the point where your parents are like, this ain't even worth the effort.
They don't want to deal with it no more. Yeah, they know when you're lying, probably. Yeah.
It's just taking too long sometimes.
But I do think, like, that's kind of how a lot of people evolve to probably, like, going off into, like, the deep end of, you know, it's a gateway to being a criminal. You're a child, you do crazy shit.
I think
For
that's
that
how
child,
I think
right?
that is how criminals find their level up.
Yeah. Because if you think about even like the gang stuff, right? They think they're the good guys. They think the police and everybody else are the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, like, yeah, they're the ones that are the victims here. They're the ones that are in their perspective, right? They're the ones that are always being like, hey, you're outcast, you're not a part of us, whatever. And then so there's kind of like this weird, like, different set of morality that I think I can kind of see that because I was that as a child. So I'm like, if I kept going and I did have friends in that world, I could have completely went there all the way.
Yeah, and you'd probably still think it's not your fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have.
Pretty sad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I don't know. Going back though, I wouldn't even know, like, how to tell a child to, like, what is the right path if you have so like, if I didn't have my parents and good influences, right? Let's say I was like my friends who were born into the generational gang stuff, because their whole thing was like, oh, I can't wait to go to jail, or like, I can't wait to, like,
What?
Yeah, because that's what made them a man. So it was like the way that their dads and uncles talk about it is like, that's their man rite of passage. I went to jail. I was there for this many years. And you're hearing this in like 3rd or 4th grade, and you're just like, ooh, when's my turn? I want to be like that too.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you're hearing all these stories, and then I think, like, how would you even set that kid straight if all of his role models are that way?
Yeah, there's no way.
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at a juvenile correction center, and like all those kids were like that. Like,
Right? They have a different set of,
it's
like,
so
reality.
weird.
Yeah.
Like, parents kind of encourage it and
Yep.
everything. It's weird.
That's the trippiest part, is that the parents are just mad at you guys even more
Yeah.
for everything you're doing in the jail. You know, like, when parents get mad at, like, you see it all the time on the news where, like, somebody robbed a liquor store and then got shot, and they're mad at the cashier for having a gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even though they both had guns. But then they're on the news being like, well, he shouldn't have had a gun. He's a cashier. It's
It's like, too lady. Like, he came into maybe even.
It's like that's the logic this kid was raised on.
Yeah.
Like no wonder. Like dude, that's rough to have to grow up with that.
I was just gonna rob you. You didn't have to shoot me.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened in like a recent like news thing. This guy, I guess he was like he got in trouble for assault because he beat up some random person, right? And so the child services went to his kid who was in school. The child services caseworker went to her classroom and pulled her out and had a meeting with her like in a private room to ask like what's going on with your dad? Do you feel like you're in danger? This 9-year-old like girl. And then I guess the dad found out later that this caseworker had visited his kid, and he was like upset because he's like he was supposed to put her in a room all alone, like he could have done anything. So he scheduled a meeting at the office, went to the child services office, waited for that guy to come out, and then he turned on a live stream and he choked the dude out and was trying to kill him. And he was just like, "You're a dead man," and like
On live stream?
on the live stream, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, what?
And then it's like, so now he's in jail for attempted murder.
Yeah.
And then his whole thing is like he doesn't even pay attention to the fact that he committed a crime that caused them to have to come out.
Well, in his mind, it's like, I'm doing justice for my daughter.
Yeah, he's only looking at that,
son or-
and he's like, "What kind of guy would do that? Like that's not acceptable." Even
And
though
the guy
like-
didn't do anything.
Well, I guess not.
We don't
There's
know.
nothing came out. Like the daughter didn't say that he did anything, but the fact that like they had to send someone out to check because this guy was a dangerous criminal who had a violent tendency, so they couldn't go to his house.
And he confirmed
Yeah, so he just confirmed it. Yeah.
the concerns.
But he's like not seeing how people are like,
No.
dude, what you did was bad,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
The logic there is.
Yeah. But getting blamed for something you didn't do, definitely like, that sucks for you. I felt really bad for you with your little paper thing.
Thank you. That's why I think we set we set this like little policy at home. And also one thing I really liked about the Marine Corps
Yeah.
is you know, it's like it's pretty hard and then people get hazed for stuff. But if there's any time that you felt like something was happening that was unjustified, you could always do this thing called request mass. And so whatever situation it is, it goes straight to the next supervising officer and he overlooks it. And if you feel like it's still not justified, you can go all the way up to as high as you need it to be for someone else to take a look at the situation. So no matter how hard it got, it always felt like, okay, cool, there's always gonna be justice somewhere.
Yeah.
So because of that, we established our own policy at home where we told Taika, if he ever needs to tell us something, say, and he doesn't want us to get mad first, ask for a safe space, and then me and mom will 100% give you a safe space.
Wow,
And
that's
we'll,
cool.
and we'll never get mad at you, even if it's a crazy thing. You know how I like burned down the building as a kid? Like,
Wait,
even shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Even shit like that, I just like if you request a safe space, you'll never get in trouble.
You burned down a house?
No, it was like a chiropractor's office. What's funny though is Taika now he uses it wrong.
He throws it away.
Like he'll get in trouble and he's like, "Can I have a safe space?" And I'm like, "No, it's too late. We can't wait till we catch you."
Oh.
You know, it needs to be like, "Hey, this happened."
That fool's trying to do a times out when he loses. Times out. Times out. No, you already lost, fool.
Yeah, like no, that's not how it works. You got to come to me with the honesty and vulnerability first, and then we'll protect it.
I think that's really
cool.
smart
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that'll teach him it's not about not punishing him for what he did. It's about the fact that he feels safe in us enough to come to you guys and be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a huge lesson.
Because, like, in my situation, I just learned how to manipulate and lie better to my parents. Because I never had that space where they wouldn't get mad at me. It was guaranteed ass whooping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we wanted to make it where there's like a two-way street. Cause that's how I felt too as a kid. It's like a one-way street. It's just this way. So you're like, okay, if it's only this way, if I know how to lie and maneuver, then you won't have you'll get out of trouble. But with him, we wanted it to be like this. So it's like, and he'll come to us with stuff too, which is pretty cute when he actually uses it.
Oh, so he's used it for real?
Yeah, he'll be like, hey, can I have a safe space? I did this, blah 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 blah, and then we'll talk about it and we'll debrief it.
Yeah.
And try to like work through it. And then
How many of the things aren't even things that you get mad about, but he's guilty for? Or are they all things you're like, oh yeah, you messed up?
Some of them are stuff that makes me go like, oh man, he's a really sweet kid. Because he'll be like, hey Papa, can I have a safe space? I'm like, yeah, what is it? And then he was like, you know, earlier, like when you're like outside, I kicked the soccer ball against the window like 10 times. And then I'm like, oh, that's really sweet, because as a kid, if I did that and there was zero evidence,
Yeah, why tell?
I'm just gonna leave it as is.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm gonna leave it as is. They don't have to find out, because that's just the ass whooping, you know?
Well, that's nice that he felt the guilt about it.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really sweet. That's
That
really
is so sweet.
10 times.
I know you told
Gung, gung, gung.
I'm gonna ask for safe space later.
Yeah, he's like, I know you didn't want me to. You told me never to kick things against the window. But I just couldn't control it or something. I'm like, all right, fine. Thank you for telling me.
Oh, man.
So I don't confiscate the soccer ball or anything.
Yeah.
I just go, thank you for
Good.
telling me. But you know what the rule is. He goes, yeah, I know.
What if he's like,
What if he does that every day?
Then I'm like,
Safe space.
no, he's abusing the safe space then. No.
what if he's like, hey, Dad, can I get a safe space? He's like, I went on your computer, I just deleted everything.
Yo, that sounds like my. If I have a kid, that's gonna be my kid.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I think I'll have to be like,
You're right?
I'm like, okay,
He's gonna go burn down.
you're not in trouble. First of all, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble.
Do you just take it out on the nearest chiropractor?
You're not in trouble at all.
I'm gonna go see my chiropractor.
I know.
When he was a kid, he set fire to a chiropractic like table.
Yeah.
You know the little paper they put for so when you sit on it?
The wax paper that you
Yeah,
put over the
yeah,
bed.
Yeah.
He was
did you
unsupervised
light-
and just started lighting it on fire.
You just had like matches?
No, my mom was getting like those glass, you know, the glass cup, the suction
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Oh.
So she's in the other room. I was just walking around the waiting room,
Cupping.
and then yeah, so I went into the other room and I had a lighter, and I was lighting the wax paper, and I would light it, and it would go, and I'd blow it out. And then so each time I wanted to see how much further it can go before I blow it out.
That's some bullshit. See, this is why it's like, dude, you got beat up.
And then finally, it went like this, and then got on the pillow. And it was like, and I'm like, oh shit. So I go to the receptionist, you know, where they have the water cooler. I'm like, run. And the cup's like this small, right? So I go, and I'm like, pretend like nothing's happening. And I go like this, and like, it doesn't do shit. I'm like, oh my God. So I'd make a bunch of trips. And then my mom's like signing out, and I'm like, hey, Mom, we should go. Oh
my
And she's like,
God.
why? And then I would hear like one of the nurses go, oh my God, there's a fire in there.
Wait, did they find out it was you?
They didn't find out, because by the time we got in the car, I just remember going, oh my God, and I would look back, and I would see through my mom's rear view that there was like smoke coming out of the building.
The fire?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So your mom doesn't know to this day?
They should know.
You never told her?
I never told her.
Never knew. I thought you told. Oh my gosh, you never
I don't
knew.
think I ever told her. And this was a chiropractic office on Garfield next to ABC Cafe. Are you guys familiar with that?
Wait, is that the same guy that we went to?
No. It's a.
What's the
it used-
statute of
it used to-
limitation on
It used to be
this?
there.
But it burnt down.
Yeah.
Wait, it really?
I don't know how much it went down, but there's smoke coming out for sure. I think I was like 5 or something.
That's so funny, dude. The fact that he's just like.
The flames move really cool. You ever see it? Like the flames move
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
like.
Yeah, because it goes like.
Like that. You're like, whoa, that's tight. So you do it longer and longer and longer.
Wait, I forgot. How did you get a lighter?
Well, it's next to the suction cup things.
You have to heat it to for it to.
Yeah, there's a whole tray.
Did
There's
you
a whole...
take it with you?
No. There's like
And nobody cared that this kid was just walking around the place.
Chinese
It's their
estab-
fault.
It's a Chinese establishment.
Chinese, they're lax. They're lax.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like they're just doing whatever the fuck they're doing, and I'm just wandering around.
This kid got hold of a lighter. That's crazy.
And I was like, yeah.
Man, you deserve the blame for that one.
I know.
To think you didn't even get in trouble
But
for
you
that
didn't
one's
get
crazy.
blamed for that one.
No, I didn't.
That's nuts, dude.